States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we have an invocation by Pastor John Artman. Okay.
Gracious God, we thank you for this opportunity to call people together for a meeting. We thank you for each and every one who is here today. You have blessed us with supportive people who seek the welfare of your people and our city. Heavenly Father, we thank you most of all for being here in our midst. Let your presence be made known and lead in this meeting today. Give us clarity so that we can effectively tackle each part of today's agenda. Reveal problem areas and show us the best solutions that will apply. Point our eyes to every positive outcome and let these favorable results and developments encourage every heart in this room. Dear God, help us to apply your wisdom as we decide upon matters and make plans. We believe that you will guide us in this meeting so that the results can be seen for days, months, and years after today. Thank you in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Bildering,
Here.
Councilmember Klink,
Here.
Councilmember Wright,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Ogilvy. Here. Mayor Mintz.
Here.
All present.
Thank you. Okay, we have closed session's announcement. There's nothing to report out from our closed session. Changes to the agenda. We'd like to add an emergency item to the agenda. We'll take 4/5 vote. The item will be our opposition to Orange County locating a person in our community. So I just need a...
I vote aye.
I vote aye.
I vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, unanimous. The item will be number 14 on the agenda. Okay, announcements. This proceedings may be viewed on demand on the City of Twin Palms website at www.twinpalms.org. You may also live stream this meeting by going to the city website and clicking on meeting agendas link. Awards, presentations, and appointments, proclamations. We have cash for trash for feathers and furs. Yes.
Hi, you want to tell us what you did for the city? Where'd you pick up trash?
We picked up trash on Adobe and Sunnyville, and that's what we did. And, yeah, we had first of all, I would like to thank the city for letting us be a part of this program, and PROTEC, and then all the Marines that helped us. We had like 15 or 20 Marines that came out and helped us, and so we really went well.
We really appreciate it. And here's your check from the city and then from Bertha.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, also who participated was the Boy Scout Troop 77 performed their cash for trash cleanup on February 24th, 2021. They cleaned 2 vacant lots on Adobe across from Sun Valley. They received 300 from Burtech, 300 from the city, and 100 from Larry Briggs Plaza Realtors. They couldn't be here tonight, and we're going to be mailing their checks. Okay, council comments and reports of meetings attended. Councilmember Steve? We'll let you go first this
Let me
time.
go first.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys go first. I remember where I went. I have nothing, Mr. Mayor. I can't think of them, but I'm sure when you guys talk, I'll remember I was there also.
Okay.
Oh, ribbon cutting for the vinyl place. That was, I got my Vanilla Ice cassette there, so we're all good. Keeping it cool.
Oh,
That's all I got, Mr. Mayor.
thank you. Mac?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I also went to the ribbon cutting, and I can't remember. I think I did something else too, but it escapes me now.
Okay.
And I do want to wish my sister a happy birthday today, and that's it. Thank you.
Joel?
Thank you, Mayor. I had a Zoom meeting with the Mountain Desert Measure I Committee for the County of San Bernardino, and we voted on giving the city a little over $600,000 for the median that we're gonna be putting in on the highway by Stater Brothers. It needs to be done for safety. I mean, I have had really close accidents myself coming down, and they're turning in. It's just been really crazy lately. So I think that's going to be a good median there. So the board for the SBCTA will vote on that the beginning of April, and should pass very easily. And I went to the record grand opening as well. I think that's it.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem?
Good evening. I did not attend any official city business, but what I did participate in was Morongo Basin's healthcare district vaccine, COVID vaccine program. And so I was out helping to vaccinate our community.
Oh, well, thank you for that. Okay, we had a MDAQ-MD meeting on Monday, a Zoom meeting. I did Zoom. There was not a lot going on other than our district is protesting some of the letter that the EPA sent us that we're doing the laws that we're doing, and they're having a little disagreement, so they'll get all that worked out. I also went to the grand opening, and then just want to remind everybody about the meeting this Thursday at 5 o'clock at our community center. It's going to be really important that as many people there can show up. And obviously we'll be outside. Please wear a mask, and we'll practice as much social distancing as we can. But it's really important for this to go through. We got county officials coming out. We got our county supervisor. Our county sheriff will actually be there, and then also the DA from the county will be there, and then also our congressman Alban Alty will be there also. So it's real important that we show them that how we feel as a community, that how we do not want this predator in our community. So,
Can I add on to that real quick?
yes, Councilman.
If Frank can, by the end of the meeting, get the email address for the county. They said as many people need to send an email letter telling them how we are not happy whatsoever with wanting to send a sexually, no, I can't use the word, person to 29 Palms. So if we can get that before, and we can give it to you guys here, and then also the people at home can see it on the live streaming. So
Yes, and if you haven't had a chance to sign the petitions yet, we will have petitions there at that particular meeting, and we'll be able to take signatures there also. Okay, is anybody else going to add anything? Steve, did you remember anything? Okay.
Mac.
Mac? Okay. Okay, consent calendar, all matters listed on the consent calendar to be considered routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. Any item may be removed from the consent calendar and considered separately by the city council. The public will be given an opportunity to comment on the consent calendar items prior to the city council action. Okay, does anybody want to pull any items from the consent calendar? Anybody want to discuss anything? Okay. Hearing none. Anybody from the public like to comment or ask any item to be pulled from the consent calendar? Seeing none. Okay, I'm looking for a motion.
I make a motion that we move the consent calendar.
Second. Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none. Okay. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Klink,
Aye.
Councilmember Bildering,
Aye.
Councilmember Wright,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Ogilvy,
Aye.
Mayor Mintz.
Yes, and I will abstain from item number 9, which is the warrants for Project Phoenix, and Project Phoenix inspection, item number 11. I abstain from those two items.
I found that email address. It's on here. It's P Affairs, AFFAIRS, at sbcsd.org. So if you had a chance to write that down, if you need you want me to read it again, I can do it. Okay, it's P as in Paul, and then affairs, AFFAIRS, at S, B as in Bob, C, S, D as in dog, .org. as many email letters to them. Each one counts, believe me. Yes, it's P as in Paul, and then affairs, AFFAIRS, at S as in Sam, B as in boy, C as in Charlie, S as in Sam, D as in dog.org. Yep.
Okay. All right, Cindy, roll call, please. Oh, we already did it? Oh. Oh, okay, I
Oh,
didn't hear,
I'm
that's, I
sorry.
knew there was something we were missing.
He
Okay.
jumped in there.
Approved 5-0.
Okay, thank you. Okay, items removed from consent calendar for discussion. When there's none, put no public hearings. Discussion and potential action items. Number 12, Senate Bill SB 39.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, if it's okay, I'm going to call Dominic Hayden. Dominic Hayden is Senator Shannon Grove's field representative, and he'll be able to talk about a little background. Oh, sorry. Why is this not? Well, do it this way, I guess. I don't know. Awkward silence. Let's see.
Hello, this is Dominic.
Hey, Dominic, it's Frank Lucchino and the City Council. I just gave the council a little, and I'll give a little bit more of an introduction. So Dominic is joining us as a field representative for State Senator Shannon Grove. And Senator Grove is looking to enhance some legislation to prevent EDD fraud prevention. There has been some cases of some fraud, especially in the prison systems, of receiving some unemployment checks, and Senator Grove is looking to further protect these taxpayer dollars with legislation. So with that, Dominic, you want to give a little background and information on the bill, please?
Sure. Thank you so much, Frank. And I apologize that I can't be with you in person. The Senate is currently, because of COVID, not allowing any staff to go to in-person meetings or events. But happy to have the opportunity to mention and discuss this bill. It's Senate Bill 39, introduced by Senator Grove. And in 2020, the United States Congress, as a part of the CARES Act, created a new program called the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, which is an EDD, Employment Development Department benefits program for those who might not otherwise qualify, because in order to receive unemployment insurance, you have to have had wages in the state that you're trying to collect them. So people who are self-employed, business owners, independent contractors would not have those typical wages that would qualify them to receive benefits. So when they passed that program, the federal government informed the states that it was highly likely that with this new program and the increased eligibility, there were going to be increased attempts by fraudsters to illegally receive benefits. And we saw that that was exactly the case. One of the prevention measures that the federal government recommended was exactly what SB 39 would mandate, and that is to cross-reference applications for unemployment insurance or the pandemic unemployment assistance with California Department of Corrections records to make sure that the applicant is not currently incarcerated or in custody of CDCR. The California Employment Department decided not to do that at the time, and is in fact one out of only 15 states that does not already have that procedure in place prior to the pandemic. So we've seen estimates ranging up to $31 billion of fraudulent unemployment benefits being paid out. Now, that's not all to prison inmates, but certainly a sizable portion of that did go to either people who are currently incarcerated or those who applied for benefits in their name. So that would be someone who's not incarcerated. And usually that would be the process, even for somebody who was incarcerated. What we saw was that they would have contraband cell phones and be able to be in touch with somebody on the outside who would apply for benefits in the inmate's name and then wire money to the inmate through various methods. So that was, and district attorneys throughout the state did a thorough investigation and discovered this widespread problem. So we also had successfully gotten the state auditor to examine the Employment Development Department and come up with solutions for how to prevent future fraud. And now this is a nonpartisan state audit office, and one of their chief recommendations was SB 39 to cross-reference those applications with the records. So we've introduced the bill. It was heard before the Public Safety Committee in the Senate, which is one of the most rigorous committees, especially for members of our caucus, to get bills passed out of. It did pass with bipartisan support out of that committee and is moving forward to the Labor Committee. So we would love to have the City of 29 support on this bill. We currently have gotten support from, and this is not an exhaustive list, but the district attorneys of Tulare, Sacramento, and San Bernardino County, San Bernardino County Sheriff John McMahon, the San Bernardino County Board of Supervisors, Town of Yucca Valley, City of Needles, again, among others. So I'm grateful again for the opportunity to share this with you, and I'm not sure if it would be appropriate to receive questions, but I'm happy to if that's what you'd like to do.
Now, does anybody on the council have a question? Okay. Anybody from the public have a question? No? Okay. Thank you, Dominic.
Absolutely.
Okay, and we'll bring it back to the council.
I make a motion that we send a letter supporting our Senator Grove on SB 39 EDD fraud prevention.
Second.
Okay, a motion to second. Any more discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Wright?
Aye.
Councilmember Bildering?
Aye.
Councilmember Klink?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Ogilvy?
Aye.
Mayor Mitz?
Aye.
Approved 5-0.
Thank you. Okay, item 13, demographer services related to the state mandated review of the voter district boundaries.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. The item in front of you is looking at our elections for the next decade, beginning in November of 2022. With the census that came out, and one of the requirements of districting laws is to be able to validate the current districts from a proportionality perspective, from a demographic perspective. And the way to do that is you have to hire a demographer to look at that. The demographer will look at if things have changed within our community, ethnic changes, racial changes, population changes, to then present back to the council and public meetings to potentially redistrict if needed. This contract, although it has a range of services, looking at $35,000 is what we're looking to approve. It can be as low as $10,000 if there are limited changes within our community. But the first step of that is to get the demographer on board. NDC, National Demographer Corporation, they did our initial districting demography analysis, and they are one of the major players within this field. Through the process, time is of the essence. And part of the challenge that we have is the census data, I think now won't be, because of the pandemic, now won't be released until September, I believe. And the data that we need from that census, I think, won't come out until October. So it puts us, somewhat of a behind an 8 ball because now we're in 2021, and again, the election is November 2022, and we still have to go through those public hearing process. And the districts have to be in place 200 days before the election. So there's a short time frame, given, what's in front of us. So this presentation, this proposal is in front of you this evening, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Yep. Any questions for staff? No questions? Okay. Open it up to the public. Does anybody want to comment on this item? Seeing no one rush to the podium. Okay. Bring it back to council. Any more discussion? If not, I'll take a motion.
I make a motion that City Council authorize the city manager to enter into agreement with National Demographics Corporation in an amount not to exceed $35,000 to provide demographer services needed to implement the state mandated review of cities' voter district map.
Second.
Yeah, a motion is second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Klink,
Aye.
Councilmember Bildering,
Aye.
Councilmember Wright,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Ogilvy,
Aye.
Mayor Mitz.
Aye.
Approved 5-0.
Thank you. Okay, item 14, which has been added as an emergency item, and it's a letter of opposition.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Publishing of the agenda last Wednesday, I believe it was last week, we didn't have all the information associated. Actually, Wednesday, the mayor and myself found out about this sexually violent predator potentially getting relocated to our city. At that same time, Wednesday, our agenda was posted, and we didn't have a whole lot of information at that time, which necessitated today the emergency item. The item in front of you this evening is a letter of opposition from the council to the judge in Orange County, Judge Wagner. The letter is in front of each of the council members that opposes the relocation of the SVP. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for staff? Okay, seeing none for at the moment, we'll open this up to the public. We have some public comment. Deanna?
Good evening.
But I just want to thank everybody here, the mayor, our city council, for the extreme and extensive measures we've all taken in the support of the community. Today was a good turnout, and I just want to express to everyone how important it is that everybody shows up Thursday and bring their children, their neighbors, grandma, bring your dog. Just show up, sign the petition, even if you already signed electronically, to please sign the paper one as well. I'd like to not only thank our community, but our surrounding communities as well that have came in and helped with the petition, protest, and came today for the drone. As well, I'd like to remind people that we are going to be protesting this April 16 in front of the courthouse. So if anyone would like to join us then as well. Thank you again.
Okay. Thank you. We have Vino?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Councilman. I'm very glad that you're taking a very aggressive step towards making sure that we prevent the sex offender from being housed in the community. Something that is really stressing one of my staff, she stays not too far from where the proposed person is to be housed, and she has a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old girls. Just to share something with you all, I coached soccer for 4.5 years in OC, Orange County, and even when my kids went to use the public bathroom, I've always doubled them up that they go together, not single. And I'm glad that you are taking an aggressive step, and let's all push to make sure that this offender never comes and be housed in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all the slips I have. Anybody else from the public like to speak? Okay, we have just one letter. Oh, come on up. I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
Cindy,
Podium,
need a pen. I just want.
block.
I as well
Yes,
looked
ma'am.
at protests and, trying to get it together. I was wondering if on Thursday or if not tonight, if there's any way to get like extra petitions so we can protect schools and the places where we know that people are not gonna be able to make it there. So that way it might help towards making it quicker, get it done faster.
Yeah, we can supply that for you tonight after the meeting, sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, you have to state your name, please.
Oh, my name is Mary Reed,
Thank you.
and I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate everything you guys are doing today.
Well, thank you. We hope for your support on Thursday, please.
Absolutely.
Oh, could you fill out a green slip for us
Yes,
when you get time? Okay. We have a letter. Cindy, you want to go ahead and read that?
Okay, it says, I am a new resident to 29 Palms, having just invested in this city and county by purchasing the home on the corner of Gorgonio Drive and Lupine Avenue. Yes, just 3 doors down from 6262 Lupine Avenue at 71918 Gorgonio Drive. I did my research on the Megan's Law website before deciding to purchase here, and while there were registered sex offenders in the neighborhood and city, there was still much less per population versus where I moved from in Long Beach and the LA area. There were no violent sex offenders, and that mattered very much to me. As a woman living here alone, I also have an 18-year-old daughter that visits for weeks at a time, along with 2 small grandchildren and other family members who visit from time to time. It is appalling that the Orange County judicial system thinks it is okay to order this violent man to move into the city, a city where the man has no connections. It is as if they are shucking the responsibility of keeping their residents safe and instead putting this dangerous man on another county. If they are concerned that he is too dangerous to stay in their county, he should be in prison. Oops. He should be in prison or another controlled environment. It is completely unreasonable and unfair for them to order him to live amongst unsuspecting families. There are kids riding their scooters on my street and walking their dogs in front of my house every day, and they want this dangerous man to move 3 doors down. This is unacceptable from a safety perspective, and if I had seen a violent sexual predator 3 doors down on the Megan's Law website when I was looking to purchase my home back in December, I would not have purchased this home. Please, please do all that you can to prevent this from happening. Sincerely, Stacy Laney.
That's the only, we have anything electronically?
No, I
just-
well, let me check again.
Okay, go ahead.
And Mr. Mayor, while Ms. Viescas is looking for that, we do have, and the public can have after this meeting, some of the petition forms that will be signed. It has the email address as mentioned earlier too, and we can make some more copies for those who want it in the audience.
Thank you. Nothing? Okay. All right. Well, seeing no other public comment, we'll bring back the council. Our chief of police, Captain Niles, is in the audience. If anybody from staff has a question for him, he'll be happy to answer that if he can. If not, Thursday, Sheriff McMahon will be here, and the district attorney will be here, and they'll also answer some questions also. So, okay. Seeing none. Okay.
Do we have to have a motion on that letter?
Yeah, we have to have,
Yeah, and did you want, I know what was mentioned earlier, right now it just says the mayor on there, but do you want to adjust it for all 5 council members?
absolutely.
I make a motion that we accept the letter that has been written to the Honorable Judge Megan Wagner, and will be signed by all council members here in 29 Palms.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Okay, before we do vote on this, I just want to make sure the public does know that the staff of this city and this council is doing everything we can to prevent this person coming to our city. And the county is doing everything they can. Obviously, our police department is a contract with the county, and but the county is taking this very seriously, and they are trying to prevent this also. So, but we do thank all the support we've been getting from the citizens for the last, it's only been in less than a week that we even found out about this. And it's really, it's going to help a lot on Thursday for everyone to be there. Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Wright?
Aye.
Councilmember Bildering?
Aye.
Councilmember Klink?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Ogilvy?
Aye.
Mayor Klink. Mayor Mintz. excuse me.
Aye.
Approved 5-0.
Thank you. Okay. Future council initiated items. Does anybody have an item they'd like to bring up as a?
I just have something, what's going on now, and if you might be able to, I kind of think I know what it is. All these side roads are having end roadwork signs put up. Does that mean that they're going to be paving 29 Palms Highway?
Oh, yes, so, thank you, Councilmember Klink, for bringing it up. Yeah, there is an overlay project from City of 29 Palms clear down to Desert Hot Springs and Indian Avenue. So it's a Caltrans project. We just had a coordination meeting this past week. We're still waiting for schedule. I don't think the schedule, we're still waiting for a schedule when they come through 29 Palms. But they're gonna start somewhere, right? They're gonna start either probably 29 Palms or Desert Hot Springs and work their way through. The county unincorporated area, I think it ended, I don't think Joshua Tree area had much of the improvement. Most of the improvement was in Yucca Valley and in 29 Palms. One of the coordination pieces that we will be doing is Project Phoenix. One of the things we want to make sure is, in a coordination perspective, that we don't do improvements, especially on where Project Phoenix is at Yucca Avenue primarily, and Caltrans comes in and rips it out and starts over, right? So we're coordinating all of that, and also some of the private development projects as well. We got O'Reilly going in, and again, trying to coordinate, so it'll be the overlay, and when you do an overlay, you gotta improve the ADA ramp, so that will be as part of that project. So I think it's an overlay, or are they doing chip seal, Travis, you? It's asphalt. It's asphalt, yeah, so it's AC overlay, asphalt concrete.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay, nobody else with any agenda items? Okay. Public comments. This is the time for the public to address the city council on issues within the jurisdiction of the city council that is not on this agenda. All comments are to be directed to the city council and shall not consist of any personal attacks. Members of the public are expected to maintain a professional, courteous decorum during their comments. There is a time limitation of 3 minutes. If you haven't already done so, please fill out a name, address slip, and give it to the city clerk. City council prohibited by state law from taking action on discussing items not included in the printed agenda. Public comments on specific items will be deferred until consideration of the item of the agenda. Anybody from the public would like to speak on something that was not on the agenda? Oh, come on up. And please, you got to fill out another green slip. Okay. Okay. Nothing. Okay.
Is there anything that we can possibly do after we go ahead and fix this issue like we did in like 2019? Is there any way we can figure out how to fix the issue of, am I allowed to say how many are out here? Like, am I allowed to put that number out? Like,
No, that's,
Number's fine. It's-
no, you can say it, but it's not,
yeah, no, I just want to make sure that I'm not saying anything that's, we just want to know how we can possibly go about fixing that as well. Because this is a small town, that's a big number.
Get a repeal.
We're just kind of like, you know what I mean? We
You want
don't
me to
look
answer?
at
Yeah.
it until it's like smacked right in our faces. And we were looking at it last time this happened for Joshua Tree and all that other stuff, and now it's happening here, and you look at it, and it's such a small town, and there's a bunch of families and kids, and, you know what I mean? And there's so many here, and we just keep on getting them dumped on us. Some we get asked about, some just get put here. Some, yes, have ties here, and they've been here for a long time. But this all is keeping our community unsafe. You know what I mean? We have to look, walk our best. I don't want my kids walk for nothing, and they get so mad at me. Even in the trailer park, my kids, they have everybody come over to the house. Because I don't trust any of, you know what I mean, what's going on. And we can't realize, you keep standing next to them, they're all over the place. And it's terrifying. Like, can we build something after this is done and over with? Can we start something else to make, like, some of this happen? At least for the violent ones that actually are gonna harm our children.
I think the city manager can comment a little about that.
Yes, so this council struggled with this a couple years ago, reluctantly. So the city of 29 Palms, and every city in California, had a sexual offender ordinance on the books that basically prevented sex offenders from living. And there was a distance. I want to say like 500 feet from like a bus stop, 1,000 feet from a school, and there was distances. And the ACLU sued, many cities, threatened the city of 29 Palms because it was one size fits all. The ordinance of, and I'll use this as an example, the 18-year-old who had relations with a 17-year-old and now is classified as a sex predator versus a really bad guy like the guy that they're trying to send here, they were all classified the same. The ACLU said that's not fair. Talking to Captain Niles in our sheriff's department, again, the council struggled with this, but through a probation perspective of it, the really, really, really bad people, if they're ours, okay, they will have that limitation away from schools and away from significant destinations, schools, bus stops, etc. So there is something that probation does that will limit that. And Captain, if I misstated anything, please correct me, but probation kind of will go through that and make sure they stay away from significant stops. There's no way, unfortunately, to keep every sexual predator out of the city. Unfortunately, that
And
is.
that's the scary thing. Deanna Perez, the one that was just up here, well, the place where she did live, her daughter got almost snapped, like somebody was messing with her. A long time ago, I remember this guy, an old guy that used to drive around, trying to snatch up girls on the main street right here and that. So like, huh? Yeah. And so it's like, how far are we really keeping them? Because like that's close. That's serious. That's my babysitter and tutor. She's about 15 and she's on lupine. You know what I mean? And her mom's not there. She works sometimes or anything like that. And that's scary. It's super scary because we can't always constantly watch them. And in this small little town, I mean, they're trying to move a man right in smack dab in the middle of a family-oriented place where there's a bus stop, where there's like basically a candy store for him. It's just wide open. And it just, I keep on wanting to know because if there's absolutely anything that we can do to fix it or to make it to where it's not as easy for them just to be able to snatch our kids or decide to pick on which one they want, it's hard for us. You know what I mean? Like everybody is scared about this. And we live here, like my family and everybody I know has been trying to get me to move from here. And, I grew up here, I messed up here, got on drugs and all that other stuff, got clean about 9 years, I love this community. This community's got two different sides to it, and the community that comes together and that helps each other, that's like something that's maybe, you don't get that in like Arizona or, because I went there and maybe not the one in Arizona. These places don't have what we have here. We're a really close, tight-knit community. Like, I could be like, I need something, and I can have it by the end of the day because people around here are like, here, let me help you. As am I to other people. And I've talked to a lot of these people, and, this stress is serious for all of us. The pandemic, ergo our kids being inside, when it finally opens, it's nothing going to be different. We can't just, hey, pretty girl, go outside. Because we don't know what's out there. Like, how often do we trust our kids to be, like, right there? And you can't trust some grown person that should know better to stay away from what's ours.
Well, thank you for your comments there. Hopefully, everyone is listening. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, no, absolutely. I just want to make sure that it's out there and that everybody knows that, we are trying.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Any other comments before we move on? Okay. City manager update.
Really, just no updates, Mr. Mayor, just two brief ones. I should say none, just two brief ones, and they will be brief. So we will cancel the meeting April 13th, I think it is, it's spring break week, so that meeting will be canceled. Our next meeting will be April, I think it's 27th. I think it's 27th.
You're not allowed to go to Miami. For
Texas,
spring break.
Texas. Then the other thing is Project Phoenix, just an update on that. Project Phoenix is progressing, as everybody has seen the, next week, the building contractors will be on site, I think the 30th, which is Tuesday, next Tuesday, the building contractors will be on site. So you'll see a trailer show up on site. As you know, and the public is probably looking down, you'll see the roads starting to form up. You see the parking lots are starting to form up. It's starting to come alive. That project is starting to come alive. It's getting very, very exciting. So that, the building, now we'll start to see the building going up. So again, more vitality in that downtown area. And that's all of my updates. And, you know, I know everybody has said it, but just one more time, very important, this meeting Thursday. Not only signing those petitions, but telling those stories. So those stories are very important. You know, on the protest form, there is a section there to write comments. And those comments are very important. Some people will fill out this form and say they oppose, and that's fine. But those comments too are extremely important because they will be used by the judge, or actually the DA in San Bernardino County, to present to the judge in Orange County of why this does not belong. So please, again, I'll give you these to disperse those, but please come to the meeting Thursday and again, fill these out. Quantity is important, but the comments are equally as important.
Okay.
And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Yes, Steve.
Hey, just to echo your concerns, right now, we're all doing what we can to take on the predator closest to the boat right now. But regardless of this moment's gone, we still have to stay vigilant and educated on everything that's going on. We just can't rise when we have an issue in our face. So this issue is always around us. Right now, we have a face and a moment. But once this is all over and we win this, we still got to stay vigilant and we still got to stay educated for our children regardless. So let's keep that in mind. It's not just an occasion thing. This is something that's every day. So let's keep the same energy after this on this situation as issue. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else? Everybody good? Okay, well, this meeting is adjourned. Oh, wait. Oh, this is adjourned till April 27th, right? It's not up there. Is 27th it? 27th. Okay, this meeting is adjourned till April 27th.
Thank you. Hand save. Here's the two.
Hello, sir. How are you?